Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Ido Agassi and today I want to show you how to make headbands with 2 cores and 3 colors. It's not so complicated. I would love to share it with you. I'll choose 3 colors. Let me put this aside and we will start working. I will start with the book towards me, spine towards you. I have 2 boards here that are holding the book, and also I will use the boards to connect a pin so everything won't move. I will bring the first core, which is straight. I cut it in a 45-degree angle to make it sharp. It is made out of leather and parchment on 2 sides, and I'm going to pin it here on the board so it won't interfere with the sewing and it would hold one side while working. I don't want to close the other side because then each time I need to go with the thread in between and not from the side. The other core I'm using is a rounded one. I'm using a piece of leather, but you can also use thread like 8-ply. This is, I would say, a diameter of 3 millimeters, and I'm going to connect it just underneath with another pin. Now I'm going to bring 3 embroidery threads. It's around 50 or 60 centimeter long. Okay, these are 3 colors. Let me add a linen thread. This is going to be my working thread. You won't see it, but each of the colors are going to be wrapped around this one. This is number 18, 3-ply. I'm going to cut it. So let me connect the needles to all the threads. I'll do it off camera. If you don't know about my needle trick, I will add the video here so you can watch, learn, and then join me while we are going to sew these headbands. So all the needles are connected to the threads. Before we begin, I must say this is my way of making these headbands. There are many ways to make them. I hope you would like this style. I will bring a needle and show you a trick. I'm starting with the empty needle from the inside out just to find the path. And then I'm taking my needle, that one that I'm going to work with, and I'm going inside, makes the path for it to go inside. Now I'm going to take the 3 extra threads and I'm going to tie everyone together like this, make a knot. I'll bring my scissors, cut it, pull this. I move the cores aside for you to see how I connect the threads, so let me bring them again. And are you ready? Let's zoom in and start working. I'm going around the back core, and now around the rounded core. See, everything is straight. I'm taking my needle and going back inside the same hole of the kettle stitch, and when I'm pulling back, I'm going to lock everything together. Now I'm taking my working thread and I'm going underneath the 2 cores and bringing it from the right side of the blue thread, and this is going to be my working thread. Okay, great. I'll take the blue one again and I'm going between the 2 cores, over the top, back between the 2 cores, and to the front. Now I'm taking the working thread and going over the blue thread, and then the blue thread is going over the working thread, and then I'm pulling them both, the same pull, okay? And then I'm going underneath the 2 cores. Let me take my needle and straighten things up here. always the beginning looks at the beginning a bit messy and uneven, but trust me, when you keep on going, it would look great. Again, I'm going between the two cores, around the top side, between the two cores, and to the front. Taking my working thread up over, and the colored thread over that, and then I'm pulling tight, not too tight so the knot would go underneath, and I'm like, you see the movement, I'm making it one parallel to the other. Let me with the needle again see everything is straight here, and now I'm going to change threads. I'm going to take the red one, hold the rest, and then go between the two cores, around the top, between the two cores to the front, and then working thread over the red and the red over the working thread. Now I'm pulling, look, one of my hands is moving left, and then I'm making it straight and repeating. So between the two cores, around, between the two cores to the front, another one, around, between, front, over, and pulling. And now I want to go inside the signature. So I have the mark here, going inside, and pulling. Now I'll take the brown color, over the two, between the cores, around, between the cores again, and to the front. Working thread over the brown over the working thread. Pull it, straighten it. You know, the first time I saw somebody knitting with 5 needles socks, I said to myself, oh my God, 5 needles, how can you manage that? But then I discovered that you use each time a different needle, so it's not that complicated. And this is also, you get the hang of it, change colors, and each time you work with a different color, so don't be alarmed and just experiment and try it out. Worst case, you cut everything and start over. Let me take my needle and see everything is okay here. Back to blue. Light blue. I'm holding these both and going between the cores, around, to the front. Working thread over and pull. And pull. You need to find the balance of an even pull between the front and the back. Let me go inside the book again. Moving on to the red one. Between the cores, around, and to the front. As you can see, I'm working with a straight spine, and that is because of technical reasons. I wanted extreme close-up, and I didn't want the focus to change. That is why I chose a straight spine. If I would work on a rounded spine, I would round the book, back it, and only then start working on the headbands. I go between, around, between, front, up, and slide it. Moving to brown, between the cores, around, and to the front. I can see a bit of the thread, of the white thread here. So what I can do is pull it a bit and it would fix it, okay? The reason I'm using a thicker thread, the cotton thread here, is because the headbands are much faster because the thread is a bit more thick, and also you can see more clearly what I'm doing. With silk, it would be much more zoom in to see what I'm doing, and the video will also be longer because the thread is thinner. We go inside the book here. It's exactly in the center, I think. It's forming up nicely, as you can see. Pulling, and then I'm going straight and the same tension between the cores, over the top, between the cores. between the cores, around the top, to the front, one over the other. Move it with an angle, and then backwards. Let's repeat the process. Again, between, over the top, can adjust it with your fingernails. Third time the charm, between the cores, over the top, back between, and to the front, working thread on, back to the spine. Moving to light blue, around the top, to the front, working thread on the blue, blue on the working thread, and back towards the spine underneath everything. Look how beautiful it's forming to be. If you're watching me now, don't be afraid to try it out. It's very fulfilling. It's like meditating. I love making headbands. I'm in the last one. Taking the red, between, over, to the front, working thread on the red, and the red on the working thread, and then between, over the top, between, and last round. Now I'm going inside the signature. Followed by the linen thread, the working thread, going back also inside where the kettle stitch is. That is why the working thread is natural color, so it would hide inside. And now I'm going to tie everything. These two that are going through the signature and these two that are hanging from the spine. One. And two. And I'm going to cut. Let me take out the pins. I'll bring a needle, can move it a bit so everything would look okay. Lift it a bit so they would be equal. I'll bring some glue and put on the back. Glue everything together here. Everything is straight here. After the glue is dry, you cut off the pieces aside and then put some glue on both sides so the thread won't fall down from the cores. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and for being here. Make sure to subscribe if you are interested in things related to bookbinding and box making. I have so many more things I want to share with you. Also, you can join our Discord server and ask questions and show and tell. We are starting a community there. So I would love you to join, and I will see you in my next video.